In the headlines, troops neutralize 5 Boko Haram ISWAP fighters in northeast. Faduma community in Katsina mourn killing of members by bandits. 11 persons confirmed killed by bandits in Kaduna. And on the foreign scene, AU suspends Burkina Faso after coup as envoys head for talks. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Now the news in full. Troops fighting against Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists at the weekend neutralized 5 terrorists in separate gun battles, while many of the terrorists fled in disarray and various assorted weapons recovered. Given details of the confrontation, Director Army Public Relations Brigadier General Nwachukwu says the troops of 120 Task Force Battalion, Sector 2 Joint Task Force Operation Hatinkai on Saturday eliminated the criminal elements in a fierce encounter at Goniri, Yobe State. He added that the insurgents in Borno State again suffered a bloody nose on Sunday 30th as troops of Sector 3 Operation Hatinkai deployed at forwarding Operation Base Magumeri came in contact with the terrorists while on a fighting patrol around Malumti General area. In the firefight, the troops neutralized 3 terrorists and recovered 3 AK-47 rifles, 1 magazine, quantity 23 of 7.62mm special ammunition, 1 pickup truck, 2 solar panels, among others. Kaduna State Government says security forces have confirmed that 11 people are killed in an attack at Kurmim Masara area of Zangon local government area in Kaduna State by bandits in the early hours of Sunday. The State Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, in a statement, said troops of the Nigerian Air Force Special Forces who responded to distress calls from the area also fell into an ambush as they mobilized to the scene of the attack. Mohammed Yaba gives an update.
On Sunday, being 30th January 2022, security agencies reported to Kaduna State Government that 11 people were killed at a community called Kurmim Masara in Zangon local government area of the state. Over 30 houses and properties were said to have been destroyed during the attack being carried out by an unknown government. The state government, through the Commissioner Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said that the governor sent his condolences to the family of the victims. According to him, some of the injured victims were evacuated to hospital for treatment.
Still on security, Theater Commander of Operation Hatinkai says Boko Haram terrorists will be completely eliminated this year. He disclosed this during a dinner organized to honor the wife of Chief of Army Staff. The report.
My Malari Cantonment Officers' Mess was full of life in the evening with colorful appearance of spouses, friends, government officials and men of the Nigerian Army. The homecoming night is to honor the wife of the Chief of Army Staff and other wives of senior officers of Operation Hatinkai. Guests were treated with special delicacies and it got thrilling with cultural performances, stand-up comedy and more. The theater commander, Major General Christopher Musa, said over 30,000 Boko Haram members have surrendered and it will conclude the fight against insurgents this year.
That there will be this massive surrendering of the insurgents. It shows that the Chief of Army Staff is committed to ensuring that we put an end to this insurgency in the Northeast. And we are sure that if the Northeast gets it right, it will transcend down to other regions in the country. All of you are praying for us. All of you are wishing us the very best. That we are committed to make sure that this year, God willing, we'll put an end to the insurgency.
To ensure we keep a serene home and also a safe home, Their job, we all know, is a very stress-filled job, and as such, we must be good wives and show respect to our spouses, as well as be good ambassadors of our spouses.
The night ended with presentation of plagues to special guests and a moment to dance.
Internally displaced persons from the recent bandits' attack in Maikate village of Donko-Wasagu local government area in Kebbi State for the first time since the attack open up to recount their ordeals from the invading bandits and the loss they incurred during the attack. Trust TV's Hamza Galadima visits the local government to meet with the IDPs who are presently taking refuge in abandoned houses as well as primary and secondary schools across the local government following failure to pay levies imposed on them by the bandits. His report.
About 15 kilometers away from this area on this side is Dankare village, a village in Donko-Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, where gunmen from Zamfara State invaded a few days ago and killed hundreds of villagers, while many others escaped.
The gunmen, according to sources, came to Dankare village at about the time the people of the village were getting ready for the weekly Jumu'at prayers and started shooting sporadically, killing hundreds of people, including men, women and children. Hundreds of other people, however, escaped and seek refuge in towns and villages, including Riba, the headquarters of the Donko-Wasagu local government area, Kebbi State. In Riba town, the internally displaced persons were accommodated in abandoned buildings, houses of relatives, and any available primary or secondary school in the town. Some of the IDPs who escaped the afternoon attack in Dankade and are now taking refuge at Model Primary School Riba recount their ordeal during and in the aftermath of the attack. The gunmen came at about the time we were preparing for the Jumu'at prayers and attacked. The bandits are too many and our security forces had to withdraw, leaving the village without protection.
We are in critical conditions because of armed robbers, or I say criminal people that reach us in our Dankadi, which our full time. They can make the fighting much. So there are many. That is why our and army run back during the fighting is over to them.
They wanted us to start prayers before attacking us, but God helped us. The attack started just before commencement of prayers. Life for the refugees at the improvised IDP camp in Riba was a far cry from their normal lifestyle prior to the attack, with families sharing enclosed spaces without basic amenities or adequate food items for them and their families. The men usually go out into Riba town to find food for their family, while women and children remain within the premises of the primary school, uncertain of the future that awaits them. Speaking on the incessant bandit attacks in parts of Donko-Wasagu local government area, the chairman of the Zuru Emirate Local Vigilante Group, the Ensakai, said although security forces are doing their best to curtail the situation, they have been overwhelmed by the number of the bandits and the sophisticated weapons they carry. He also said there is need for more support from the government and other individuals for the local vigilante group so as to continue to assist in the fight against the bandits. According to him, the local vigilante group are the ones financing their operations against the bandits.
My name is Warrant Officer Sani Usman, retired. Truly, we have been facing a lot of difficulties in terms of support, as in weapons and things like that, because what our people have is den guns. which you can just fire once and start looking for where to load, other than these bandits who come with full magazines and even more extra ones. So we've been having these difficulties, and most times whenever this attack comes, we used to have difficulties in contacting the soldiers, which sometimes they do go with us and other times they don't. So it is only we who go headlong to face these people. Sometimes the soldiers also go with us. I want the state government to look into our logistics and then support us in terms of even if it is bin cartridges alone. Because sometimes when we go out, you will see a fighter with only 2 cartridges, which is not enough to fight a bandit. Let them support us with cartridge and then give us logistics so that at least we'll fuel our motorcycles to take us down to wherever there is an attack.
Bandit attacks into some parts of Zulu Emirate have so far displaced hundreds of villages and claimed the lives of hundreds of people from the villages. Hamza Galadi Mazuru reporting for Trust TV News from Birnin Kebbi.
Bandits have killed one Yakubu Hussaini, wounding several others and rustling an unspecified number of animals at Fadumawa village of Kudfi local government area of Katsina State. They attacked the village midnight of Wednesday and started shooting indiscriminately to scare the people. Trust TV's Abdullahi Amadi reports that the community is now in mourning since the incident. The report.
The bandits who engaged in house-to-house search of animals, money and other valuables threatened to kill anyone that attempted to raise alarm about the attack. As at the time of our visit to Fadimawa, the villagers were mourning Malam Yakuba Hussaini, who was shot dead by the bandits on Wednesday. Trust television crew, which was accompanied to the village in armored personnel carrier APC from Kurufi division of the Nigeria Police Force, interviewed the widow, who was emotionally disturbed by the unfortunate killing of her husband. When they came, it was around midnight. My husband was a member of a vigilante group. They shot and killed him on the spot. That's all I can see. We have left everything in the hands of God. Isiaku Abubakar, who is a brother to the deceased, was attacked in his house after collecting his phone, wrestled his cows, narrates his ordeal to Trust Television. He commended the police of Kurfi Division for their quick response, which he says, if not for their intervention, it would have been a different story by now.
Muna da labarin an ce za su sun fito sun gabas. Kaga wasu sun sani wasu amma mu da yake muna da masaniya. Ban kai ga yin bacci ba. Ko da naji wannan harbi sai na hawo. They came into the village and started chanting Allahu Akbar. They searched almost everywhere. They searched our houses, wrestled our animals, and collected all our belongings. We commended the intervention of the Nigeria Police from Kurufi Division. Similarly, the village head of Fadimawa, who appealed for the immediate deployment of more security personnel to the area, commended the DPO Kurufi Division and his men for their demonstration of gallantry and professionalism, which helped greatly in overpowering the bandits.
So fortunately, they begin to enter house by house, releasing cows and other goats and sheep, dragging them in one primary school, football fields, and making decision to do away with it. And then from there, I call on my junior brother, who is the mayor of the area, then begin to tell me that he will tell the DPO, then tell the DPO after sometimes, then the DPO alert his people when they were at Vusimba, and they got so kind, they reached our position within the time, and they made them and attacked them. So God so kind, they brought out their guns and began to exchange fires with them, so they make fear, catch them, and they run. So they brought back our guns and chiefs and gods.
According to the villagers, the bandits took to their hills on noticing the arrival of the police, many with wounds sustained from gunshots. They called on religious organizations and other governments as well as corporate bodies to focus on sensitizing the public towards behavioral change, and they attributed the criminalities bedeviling the areas to collapse of societal values. It could be recalled that the Katsina State Police Command issued a press statement on Thursday, sympathizing with people of Fadimawa and commending the officers of Kurufi Division of the Nigeria Police for their commitment towards securing the area. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
An expert, Salihu Mahmood, has called on parents and guardians to counsel their children and wards on the state of ritual killings and the need to be security conscious. He gave the advice in an interview with Trust TV.
Well, I think in the first place is the lust for wealth, as well as generational calamity in society where materialism exceeds integrity, humanity, pedigree, as well as religious obligations. This is what you get. Most of these young chaps, don't forget, they watch films, they go for concerts, they see a lot of other young people not minding what the source of their wealth are and wants to be like them by wanting to belong, forgetting their family backgrounds. Me and you came from maybe average family or maybe poor family, but our parents gave us such guidance to know where to belong, what to do, and how to be contented. Today, it is no longer the case. Some parents also have failed in their parental upbringing of children, where some parents don't even care how their children, whether male or female, make money, which is not right. And again, failure of the system. We don't have social security, rate of unemployment, as well as societal degradation. If we do the needful, I think these things can decrease and can be minimized, in the sense that youths that are supposed to be future leaders of tomorrow's Nigeria, today they are lacking in human capacity building, where even the government is not concerned about how they alleviate families out of poverty, where government is not concerned on how to provide free education, either from primary, secondary to tertiary level, and host of others. Once there is total failure of human capacity building, social security, as well as other things that the society need to enjoy, this is what you find. Some might blame them 100%, but if the system is faulty, this is what you find. And again, some unscrupulous.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, how 3 illegal refineries are destroyed. Do stay.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19, or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others, at least 2 meters, even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that troops fighting Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists at the weekend neutralized 5 terrorists in separate gun battles, while many of them fled in disarray and various assorted weapons recovered. And bandits kill one Yakubu Husseini, wounding several others and rustling unspecified number of animals at Faduma village of Kurfi local government area of Katsina State. Some more news. Nigeria Center for Disease Control says 22 cases were recorded in 4 states and the Federal Capital Territory on Sunday. According to the agency's report, 317 persons were discharged after recovering from the infection, while there are no fatalities on Sunday, leaving the total number of deaths at 3,137. Since the index case in February 2020, 252,840 cases have been confirmed, with 228,404 recoveries. Meanwhile, United Kingdom will this week begin offering vaccination to children aged between 5 and 11 who are most at risk to COVID-19. The children will be offered 2 10-microgram doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech shot, which is a third of an adult dose. Academic Staff Union of Universities of the Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife has declared an indefinite strike over unpaid earned academic allowance. The university's chairperson of the association, Adeola Egbedokun, stated this in a communique issued after an emergency meeting with members of the union on Monday. According to the communique, the strike became imperative after efforts to resolve the issues with the institution's management proved abortive. According to the Congress, there is no serious commitment on the part of the university to effect payment of earned allowance to deserving members, and also noted that all diplomatic and political means to resolve the imbroglio has failed. The challenge posed by illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria is disturbing, hence the resolve of Governor Nyesom Wike to fight the menace to a stop in Rivers State. A fallout of this is that Nigeria loses more than 300,000 barrels of unrefined petroleum daily to oil thieves and pipeline vandalism in the region, while the health hazards on residents have become unacceptable. The report.
It is another journey to the creek of Orubiri community in Okrika local government area of Rivers State, where more sites of illegal oil refining were discovered. Led by the council chairman, Akuro Tobin, the special anti-bunkering task force team destroyed over 8 illegal refining sites and 26 boiling points in the past 1 week in Okrika local government area. Briefing newsmen on the development, Tobin expressed sadness over destruction of the Orubiri community ecosystem. This, he said, has reduced land availability for cultivation of crops and destroyed source of livelihood for the farming and fishing people of the area. He reaffirmed that the state government will intensify efforts to stop illegal oil bunkering in the state.
Each day you wake up from sleep, you put your hand in your nose stream, bring it out, you see black. You cough, is black. You bathe, after 2 minutes, look under your foot, black. So the destruction this illegal bunkering have done to lives in Rivers State is very high. So this illicit act should stop once and for all. So you can see the swamp. This is where our mothers and fathers do come time to time to get the seafoods.
The State Council chairman said he is resolute in the fight against illegal oil bunkering, popularly called po-fire, and urged bunkerers to change their ways or face the full wrath of the law. Chairman of the task force, Ayo Tamono Tonye, said the committee is working through intelligence gathering to raid more illegal refining camps. Meanwhile, some residents call on the federal government for quick remediation of the environment and establishment of modular refineries rather than spending billions on fuel subsidy.
This illegal bunkering has made them not to go to school any longer. And education is a key, a major key to success. But because of this quick money they are making, they never go to school. So the advice here is we should stop it and we can reorientate them.
You can see how devastating the area is. We can't even get periwinkles, oil stars, seafoods. Our fishes we get ordinarily, you don't see them again because the place is polluted. The effect these people have done to us will take us 30, 45 years to recover.
What this pollution even causes to our groundwater is enormous, and I'm sure government has to swing into action to do something which in our field we call sweeping of these products that already have seeped into the ground.
For 2022 alone, NNPC will require 3 trillion to be able to service subsidy. Now, why do we even bother with subsidy and importation of petroleum products if we can put these skills? The idea they have to be able to separate petrol, diesel, kerosene from crude locally, if we can annex these skills and give them such training and the right technology, we will not be needing to import fuel. We will have these modular refineries complementing our ineffective refineries.
Tobin urged residents to provide task force with valuable information that will assist in tracking illegal oil activities in the state.
And on the international scene, African Union has suspended Burkina Faso a week after a faction of the army announced the removal of President Roch Kabore as envoys from West Africa and the United Nations head for talks with the coup leaders. The AU's 15-member Peace and Security Council on Monday says it voted to suspend Burkina Faso's participation in all AU activities until the effective restoration of constitutional order in the country. And with that, we've come to an end on Trust TV News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashin Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.